Racko has been one of the most popular board games ever since 1956. For those who don't know, Racko is a board game in which up to 4 people try to get 10 cards in ascending order. There are 2 decks: the usable deck, which has its cards face down, and the discard deck, which has its top card faced up and it's made of all the previously discarded cards. Each player discards a card from his deck and picks from the top of either the discarded or the usable deck. Whichever player gets their 10 cards in ascending order wins. If you search online for strategies on Racko, like what card you should discard, or which deck you should pick from, you get nothing. There's a reason for that. Racko is mostly a game about luck. The cards you get at the start and the cards in the useful deck all come down to luck. Even the card that is in the discarded deck is about luck. You have no idea what card your opponent is going to throw away. With that being said, there are still some strategies for Racko, and I'm going to tell you them. First, try your best to go first. Going first increases your chance by 5%. Even if you can't go first, still try to be as close to first as possible. This is because going first basically gives you an extra turn, as the game ends when a player gets all the cards in ascending order. Okay, good. Being first is the best, but what strategy should you use? To test this, I built 4 Racko playing algorithms and gathered data from them. The first strategy was biggest goes first. Biggest goes first finds the number that is farthest from its ideal number. The ideal number is calculated by multiplying 6 by the position in the deck. This is because there are 60 cards in total and 10 cards in a player's deck. The algorithm then sees if the top of the discard deck is less than 6 away from its ideal number. If so, the algorithm replaces the card using the discard deck. If it is more than 6, the algorithm replaces the card using the usable deck. When the algorithm plays against itself, it takes an average of 28 turns to finish the game. With 4 players, it is 23. The next strategy is a tunnel strategy. First, it picks 2 place cards that are less than 6 away from the ideal number. Then it chooses to discard the first number that is in between the 2 numbers. If the top of the discard deck is in between the 2 numbers, it takes from the discarded. If it's not, it takes from the usable. If there are 2 numbers that are less than 6 from the ideal number, or all the numbers in between them are in order, it applies the stream strategy as biggest goes first. With 2 players, it takes an average of 28 turns. With 4, it is 23. The last strategy is the replacement strategy. First, it takes the top of the discard deck number and divides it by 6. If the number that is in the deck is more than 6 away from the Racko number, it replaces the card. If not, it replaces either the card below or above it, depending on whether the discard deck top card is greater or lower than the player's card. If the card below or above the player's card is also less than 6 away from the deck, it applies the biggest goes first strategy. The source code for these algorithms is in the GitHub page in the description. This strategy is by far the shortest, taking an average of 12 turns with 2 players and 10 with 4. When I pull all these strategies against each other, the replacement strategy is the clear winner. It lands in the 800,000s, while the other 2 strategies are only in the 10,000s. So the best strategy for Racko is the replacement strategy. You might be wondering why the replacement algorithm does good against other algorithms, but how about against a human? I programmed a simple virtual Racko game where I could play against the algorithm. Each game lasted an average of 10 turns, and out of all the 10 games we played, the algorithm won 1. This brings me to my last Racko strategy. Don't stick to a strategy too hard. If the replacement algorithm is the best, the algorithm always has to follow specific steps of instructions, even if it wasn't the best move to do. While I, as a human, could account for the edge cases that don't fit a specific strategy. If you want to increase your chances of winning Racko, go first, use the replacement strategy, and don't stick to a specific plan too hard.